But one thing I do admire about Hitler is that he dared to dream. His dream was a pure race, that Aryan race, this race in Germany, and Germany getting back on top.
His way to do it was whatever was now.
Everyone else was doing the same thing. It's just that we victimize him for being on the other side and trying to win. I think they are just paying for their own sins. You're bullying individuals who have no power. They don't take on their
people their own weight.
They always go for third world countries in South America, in Africa, in Asia, Vietnam. They always go in whatever they've done in the Middle East. What business do they have in Afghanistan against rice farmers, against poppy farmers? What business do you have against them? Trying that you're trying to subjugate them, you're trying to fight them, and still you lose. And imposing idiots on third world countries. You're just imposing idiots because they're singing your song, and they don't even hide it. They're like, he's an idiot, but he's our idiot.
Welcome back. I am the teacher to teach you, the designer to refine you. My name is Butch, and today we have sasa we ni regular. Tafadhali. Recurring guest is Roy the Phenomenal. And he always has some great insights. And we are going to hopefully have a very like inaitangwa nini?
Engaging.
Staki kutumia the word engaging. Engaging bado ni basic. You see those conversations?
A phenomenal conversation.
Yeah, but I want to use the word different. Like I feel like conversations zako hazikuagi zile like say inaenda direction and expect. Tunajipata maze tumepick a turn and then pale mwisho tunajipata like we've learned a lot and yeah, you're kind of the people sasa wenye nataka kujisurround now at this point where every time somebody watches gets to learn something new, gets to learn you know, just things, because there's no one mind yenye inaweza accumulate hii knowledge yote yenye iko in this universe, so we still have to share brains nini.
Yeah, definitely.
Tuna exchange tu nini. Anyway, maze, I'm so glad you're back.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
thank
maze. You. Anyway, umecheki, I was watching an nini what do you call them? Kuna mse fulani, hata si documentary. Kuna mse fulani wekanga American news on his page and he talks about them on TikTok. I can't remember his name precisely, but there was something in ili click kwa kichwa yangu. Do you feel like American laws, they are actually, what are your views on American laws about guns?
About guns? That's an awesome question. That's interesting, man. Sasa tumeingia sasa, we just got it right into it. So it's the Second Amendment, right? The Second Amendment in the American Constitution, it calls upon individuals to carry arms so that they can be able to form a militia to protect the state in case of conflict, in case of any insurgency. And also now that Second Amendment also gives you the right to carry. So this proclamation or this act was formed first of all to protect America as a country. And who is protecting America? It's the citizens.
The citizens.
And how do we protect as a country sovereignty? It's through the barrel of a gun. Sovereignty is protected through violence. And that's why different states, in terms of international relations and also politics or whatever, we call it the monopoly of the use of violence. So
what? The what?
The monopoly of the use of violence.
The monopoly of the use of violence.
Yes.
Okay.
So in organized states or in states that are functioning, the state has the monopoly of the use of violence, in that its mandate is to protect the citizens and also protect its borders. So
all right.
That's what I mean when I'm talking about the monopoly of the use of violence. So America, when it was being formed, I think the Proclamation of Independence was in 1776, if I'm not wrong. And that's also another interesting thing that probably people don't really know much about. You should just Google the individuals who are there during that Proclamation of Independence. George Washington's. You had a number of young men and just try to see how old they were when they were creating this great nation. America is a great nation. It was created by very young men. Most of them are under 20. Imagine. Under 20, under 25. It's crazy. But that's a detour. So we are the Second Amendment.
Yes.
it was created now to make sure that in any case there is an insurgency. Or you remember America was colonized by the British.
Yes.
And that's another rabbit hole. You can go to the British. They were just crazy. They were colonizing.
We'll go there now.
That's another rabbit.
Yeah.
So this was to protect the country against any other external aggression. So whatever it has morphed into now, Americans have the right to carry guns.
Yes, but
it's
now
because of protection. But now they can carry them because it's protected under law.
Now, my whole is the Second Amendment. Can it be revised? And why don't they do it?
They've always had that discussion on gun laws, especially when things start to get to escalate.
A bit shaky, yeah.
Because there are some states where, I mean, gun violence is crazy. Chicago, you've had Chirac. I mean, there are more people dying in Iraq in Chicago than the ones dying in Iraq. We know all these musicians, they've all died by gun. The Big Osaki, Offset, King Von. And also, I mean, just going through the statistics, it's crazy the violence that is going on in America. There are some memes going on before the World Cup that if Americans miss penalties, then no people are going to shoot. It's not even a laughing matter because it's crazy. How can
it's crazy? Like that actually exists.
A first world country having problems with firearms, and it's good.
Is there any other country in the world that has this kind of problem? Because personally, I don't know. Yeah, I know Europe having a firearm is actually kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But huko wanatumianga mostly knives for violence na nini. Maybe the other country in Africa, actually in South Africa, you could work on a problem ya nini. But except America, is there any other country that is like such a huge problem that you know?
With firearms, with firearms or with crime?
No, firearms.
Firearms. I wouldn't say. I wouldn't say as to the extent of America.
Yeah.
But crime, of course, crime.
Yeah, crime now.
There's so much crime around the world. But America, in terms of firearms, yeah.
So now the video that I watched was a guy went to wanaita nini hizi yenye gari napitianga through akichukua food. Drive-through. So they went through a drive-through and the guy opened fire through that window and shot the guy who was the attendant. All right? And then he had a pistol.
Was there a motive?
Wait, let me cook. Shot the counter guy and then the gun jams. After they've already
shot.
Yes, they've already shot.
The gun jams.
Yeah. Because right on hapo it's hapa. So any contact hapo, that's fatal, right? So does that, the gun jams. Goes to the car. Gets a rifle. Comes across the whole drive-through. All right? Doesn't stop there.
Just getting some chicken, man, then you get shot. What the fuck? Just getting some chicken for my kids, man.
Bro, like shoots now across the whole drive-through. Now he came like a person who's trying to get
like a customer.
Like a customer, yeah. Shoots through the window, goes to the side now the yenye unaweza ona huko ndani. So the side that has attendants inside. Okay. Shoots
where you go to pick your order.
Yes.
Okay.
Goes there, shoots across.
Yeah.
Gets at least 2-3 people. Now there are other people who are trying to help the guys who are shot, yeah? He extends now to the parking lot. All right?
He finds the guy eating his burger.
Yeah, this guy who just had like and assumes you're still parked. But I'm sorry, but there's no way I can be in a parking lot with guns. I can hear.
You have the right to carry. I mean, if it was in self-defense, he has the right to carry his firearm.
The guy is actually confronted. He goes to the car, to the parking lot, finds a guy, some people in a car, 3 people, shoots them.
Yeah.
There's a police officer who comes to confront them, shoots back, gets the police officer. He's under...
Is the guy black or white? No, there is also a difference.
No. Like
the shooter, is the shooter black or white?
White.
The shooter is white?
White.
Okay.
So, gets the police, goes to... Now, people now are coming in. You have a right to carry, as you say. And the whole... Second Amendment. Now there are people now, it's a standoff.
Yeah.
People are coming in and they're actually now having a shootout.
That's awesome.
What do you mean
that's awesome that people can protect themselves? Imagine the amount of people, the amount of lives that could have been lost if people weren't allowed to carry firearms. So this is the only guy who's shooting around. There's no one to stop him.
There's no one to stop him.
Like imagine now, let's say the Westgate scenario that happened here.
Oh, by the way, people would have, instead of running away, there would have been some people who are...
You draw your weapon, I draw my weapon.
Yes.
Let's see who has the fastest hand.
That's some West Nini.
Who has the fastest hand. Yeah. And then you can be able to save more lives.
Yeah.
Instead of now having that whole scenario. And
well, the idea, the sentiment, I get it.
Yeah.
But in the first place, if there are no guns to be drawn, the guy wouldn't have had. All right.
But when you think about it, don't we have even firearms in Kenya? Haven't you seen crimes that young men are carrying weapons?
Those guns are usually stolen.
Exactly.
From mostly stolen or confiscated.
Yeah.
I don't want to use that word.
We have
they are dead police officers because of guns.
So we have a crime problem and we have a gun problem also.
Yes, but
because why would that
be? They trace you remember Gaza? You remember Gaza? You know how Gaza went, right?
Yeah.
Those guys used to kill police officers and then they take their guns.
Yeah.
Right? And then they go and flaunt them on Facebook. Right? They were hunted. We are in Thika right now. We are in the middle of where the Nini was. Those guys were caught in Wetavia. And the other guys were shot in Kenol. And then kuna wenye walipotea wakaenda Tala huko.
I remember.
In Cumberland mahali, sindio? The last guy who actually shot himself, right? So getting me back to the story now, Maju. The guy, they have a standoff with people. The police obviously now start coming in, right?
Yeah.
And they get this guy, they have a standoff. And when he gets now, I think
a standoff, one guy.
I'm telling you, he went like in a cliff, mahali hapo hivyo down. And then now you can hear the police. You know, even if you are police, you don't want. This
guy has mad weapons.
He had like rifle, and then they are.
He was prepared.
He was prepared, but here is now the catch. Once they start having a back and forth, the guy just offs himself, and that's it. So now my biggest question was he just a guy who wanted to off himself, but he wanted to take people with him?
Could be. Like let's say school shooters.
Yes.
What's a school shooter trying to?
What's the incentive at that? So I never.
They talk about stupid shit like bullying. Just because you are bullied doesn't mean that you should shoot up different people, innocent people, because you find that they go to the school, they shoot up the school, and they don't shoot the bullies.
They shoot innocent kids.
They shoot anyone else who's in their way. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's actually. But there's somebody who told me this. There's no proper response to trauma, and whatever we view as, there is a situation. There is what we think we would do in such a situation, and then there is also what actually happens once you're in a certain situation.
I get you.
And those two things are very different. And I think on an emotional, psychological, whatever level, this is what these guys go through. Now they've gone through something, and then they are on the worst end of whatever happened to them, the bullying, whatever. And then there's now availability of destructive media. Now they can get to guns, they can get to explosives, they can get now those arson, they can get like fuel however they want. Now they become creative with such things. The cannibals that have been known are all off of trauma, right? So I've gone maybe through some psychology classes, and whatever I've learned from that is there's no really a certain way you're supposed to process trauma. You're supposed to, the people around you are supposed to now kind of get you once you now start going off too far. But some of these people are actually alone in the world. If you ever look at this, most people come out, they have no people around.
Loneliness is a disease. Not about loneliness. Self-isolation.
Self-isolation. Yeah.
Isolation it's fucked up because it makes you, what can I say? I'm trying to find the words. It makes you crude.
Yeah.
It makes you a bit crude. And,
you there's no way of, you feel like you've already veered too far from now the rest. So now it's hard to come back.
So now you are shy, you're anxious, you don't know how to talk to people. You start thinking in your head that they're already making assumptions of you, or they're judging you. Then already you started developing, let me call them kinks. You have weird kinks.
Yeah. So that's true.
Like cannibalism. Probably did it one time. Probably it was accidental or not. Then a whole different thing. Or you started small. You started doing weird animals. Maybe you find those guys, they started experimenting, butchering cats, butchering their dogs, frogs. Then slowly by slowly you start, it's like you're a hunter now. You have bigger and bigger game.
That makes sense. And then there's there's the top of the chain is the human. So you actually want, it becomes now predator. You become essentially the predator. You are looking for the most confiscated game.
Now imagine you have a cycle like this in America. He has access to weapons, and the best weapons, because he's white, of course. So he can get a license. He's probably getting access to land, so he can be able to build
off of the grid.
Where he can be able to do all that weird shit. Na inakuwa tu hivyo.
Do you feel like there's something these guys can do about the whole gang? Has it gone too far?
Well, America has gone too far in everywhere.
Every aspect. They've already gone too far. Like, whatever they've already done in this world,
I think they are just paying for their own sins.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by
you can't be a bully, because if you go through history and whatever America has done, especially in the 20th century,
it's bullying.
It's proper bullying, and it's bullying you're bullying individuals who have no power. They don't take on their
people their own weight. Their own weight class, by the way.
If you go through all of America's wars, America can never fight its equal. America has never fought its equal.
Or once that it becomes a bystander, by the way.
They always go for third world countries in South America, in Africa, in Asia, Vietnam. They always go in whatever they've done in the Middle East, because it's more recent for the younger audience. What business do they have in Afghanistan against rice farmers, against poppy farmers? What business do you have against them? Trying that you're trying to subjugate them, you're trying to fight them, and still you lose. They lost in Vietnam.
They did,
and I really love Vietnam because they did what they did, man. Big ups to Vietnam. They fought against a world power and they won.
That's true.
I know they suffered for those years that was going on, probably 10-15 years.
But even now, people we have that view of Vietnam. Like, it's actually now, it's on a pedestal.
Vietnam, man, big ups to Vietnam. I love Vietnam, man. I love those guys. That they went against a world power, especially when now America was just lumping in the 70s, in the 80s, and they lost. America lost. Man, beautiful scenes, man. But it's all because of the leader. It's the Ho Chi Minh.
What did he do?
Ho Chi Minh, he was let's say he was their Jomo Kenyatta. But a more patriotic Jomo Kenyatta, more patriotic.
No deals outside. It just was like, I'll do this for the country.
And he was a guerrilla fighter. He was a poet. He was those. You see that crop of politicians, especially the independence type of politicians. Some of them are really charismatic. Some of them really had.
For you to get people out of that mentality, you actually have to.
They are awesome guys. It's just I don't know what happened, especially in Africa, that everything just went batshit crazy after that. But those leaders, man, they were such charisma. Angalia kina Kwame Nkrumah.
But they're all murdered, bro.
But
the Vietnam one didn't die.
Ho Chi Minh was like, man, if you want to play rough, you can come over to Vietnam and see what's up. So I think the only reason why they won is because, first of all, they're grit.
They're
tough. They're tough.
They're tough people.
They're small, 5'1", 5'2", but those guys are tough.
I think that was the illusion. Americans said like, tudogo.
Exactly. Number 2 is the terrain. Vietnam is probably 70% jungle
and swamp. I swear to God, those like the movies they make from Vietnam,
exactly.
There's always water. There's always mud.
It's always green.
It's always green.
Yeah.
They're in a jungle.
It's raining.
Yes.
Snakes and shit, all that. So Americans, we are coming from Chicago, coming from probably Washington, from the city.
3 days in, you are crying.
3 days, Maze. And these guys, then the guerrilla warfare that they did. Actually, Ho Chi Minh has a book on the guerrilla warfare. It was used also in Africa during some guerrilla battles. Man, it's crazy, man.
Now that you've said that, I don't know, I don't want to derail you, but there's this guy who is famously known. His picture is all over wherever there has been a militia. He has a slanted hat with a star, and he has a beard. I bet you know his name.
I know.
Che. I think his name was Che Sam.
Oh, he's white.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, that's Che.
Yeah.
Yes, Che. Che was Bolivian.
Yeah.
But he's Cuba.
Yeah,
the Cuban Revolution.
He was in the Cuban Revolution.
Yeah. That's also
anyway.
That's a
wormhole. That's one that we'll go to right after we get done with your points.
Okay.
So you were saying he had a book.
He had a book, but it's all about now guerrilla warfare. I'm trying to say that they had a resolve that they're not going to allow Americans to come into their country, invade us, and try to derail the progress that they've been making on the assumption that they are communist. There was that whole assumption back in the
by the communists versus
the Cold War. It was crazy.
The Cold War.
It's just Americans just flexing and bullying. They're bullying the rest of the world and imposing idiots on third world countries. Akina Mobutu, Akina Moi. They're just imposing idiots because they're singing your song, and they don't even hide it. They're like, he's an idiot, but he's our idiot. Yeah, he's incompetent, but he's our guy.
Incompetent leader.
Kina Mobutu. I mean, they're so. It's such a long list of idiots, man.
And what is the whole thing with ideology that maybe Americans have been trying to push? Like, come on. For example, now the communist versus the capitalist, that came to a point I've never understood what it is about, because there was actually recently watched this movie. It's called Tetris. Have you watched Tetris, the movie? I think you should.
Tetris.
You see Tetris, the game?
Cartoon, yeah.
See cartoon, like a game.
Yeah, not the game,
I watched the movie, bro, and I have never been more captivated by an idea. Right? So the whole, just for context, short context, Tetris, the guy who developed it was Russian. Developed it in when it was a communist country. It was among the last communist countries that was actually
still a communist country today. Yeah.
Okay. So that, but now back then
not
it was
back then.
Yes, the government had control over everything, and they used to reinforce at what
they still do.
But now they used to reinforce it with death, bro. Like
they still do.
Yeah. If you are a capitalist, you die.
America is also a communist state, but it's a communist state for the rich.
That's crazy. Now that's a crazy concept.
Yeah.
But Russians still, like, the Russian government will off you if you're a capitalist.
No, there was they don't tolerate opposition.
Oh,
and by opposition,
they'll find a way. They'll find a way.
Exactly what opposition means.
Yes,
you are sponsored by the West.
Yes,
there's an it's called Navalny. Alexei Navalny. I think he was poisoned a while back. He was the most vocal opposition leader in Russia. I mean, they tried poisoning him. They tried crashing his plane.
What do you mean crashing his plane?
You crash your plane, yeah. They just bomb the plane.
What?
Yeah, or they poison you when you're up there.
Yo.
The KGB can find you anywhere. Even
they are covert operations.
So you just
So the Tetris movie is about a guy who developed the game in Russia, and then they used what they called original code. What that means is whatever we see as boxes that are colored and everything, he had the old school green and black. So ameka tule tunaitangwa aje they are what hii kitu inaitangwa aje hii actually nataka tu kukuonyesha so that you can describe it.
Brackets.
the brackets, but the box one sasa yenye inakanga haiko carved. So that so he puts 2 and now that's a box, and then puts 2 and then now created a game on a green and black screen that iko na hiyo sasa. Those are the things that are falling. All right. So after he develops that, he cannot do anything with it because he's in a communist state. So he just shares across with his friends and it goes viral in the old sense sasa, that you get a flash disk. Hiyo time alikuwa floppy disk.
Floppy disk ya 12 MB.
Yeah. So kana kwa ka Tetris game, and then unaenda, he was just running an experimental program. So one of the guys leaked it outside now to Europe. Then a guy who was just traveling and got that floppy disk goes to a company in Europe, and then they develop it. Okay, and then after developing it, now it gets there was arcading your time. It's the 1970s, 80s, I think 80s. So yeah, it's 80s. So there's a lot of arcade games, right? So that gets now on the other side of the world, there is a company. Now somebody who is interested in arcading and makes now a business out of it, and it's doing well out of making those arcade games. Now there's a sales guy hapo katikati. Sales guy ametry kuuza game. He has tried selling a game for months. It's not going. And then in one of those 2 exhibitions, expos, he sees a crowd mahali, and even the attendant that as a salesperson, so you need the Galis who is there selling the product. The Galis has already got that crowd. Is there like, okay, I know you're here to make, you're mad at me for coming from the post, but just come and try this game. So he gets to see the game and then goes and tries to sell the idea to his business that sends him now to Europe to go and get rights to the game, to try and find out whether the rights are good.
All the way to Russia.
Yes. Now he goes to Europe, to Britain, I believe, and then finds that even them, they got from somewhere else. So he found himself now in Russia. In Moscow. In Moscow. Yeah, exactly. But now he's there as a visitor, right? He tries to get rights from the Russian government. So he's not even now dealing with the individual. So now it has become a whole thing. And then the Russian government, because of the ideology of communists, I can observe it from here. So go on. So from the Russian, from it being like just a venture that is so easy, I want rights percentage, here's what I'll give you, here's what you... Now he has to deal with the whole government that doesn't want to sell the rights to Americans. This game. Exactly. To Americans, because it goes against the ideas.
America is their number one enemy. How can they do business with them?
So a simple game takes this guy through and he is at his last. He has bid. He tells the bigger company, I want 2-3 million. The company that has employed him is like, I can't give you $2-3 million. He's like, I'll put my house on it. So if he loses this game, he's done. All right. So he's going against the whole. There's even car chases and guns being drawn. But I don't think anyone dies necessarily. But it's a whole.
It's tense.
It's so tense through the whole movie, and I never thought that I could actually watch 2 hours plus of just somebody trying to get rights to a game.
That's and more than a movie. That's a documentary.
That's a actually it did happen. Yeah, it did happen. And apparently now the company in Europe had appropriated, like how they didn't have rights to the game. And back then there used to be arcade games and there used to be mobile games. By mobile I don't mean here too, but there was this thing that we used to play.
Game
Boys. Yes. So there's now that's the mobile gaming, and then there's a computer.
A console.
Yes, there is a console in it. So in rights, there's a totally different thing. It's not just saying I want this game. It's you going, you want a mobile Tetris game. Then you can have that as a right, and then you go and say arcade Tetris is mine. And then you go on this side, you say a console, computer. You say either computer, you say it. Now that's also its own meaning.
Okay.
So watching Tetris was among the very, you ever started a movie, you're like, why is it so highly rated? And you're like, hey, midway, you're like, oh, okay, now I get it. So I think you should watch Tetris.
Okay.
So where were we before? Just we were talking about Tetris. Communism versus capitalism. How does it lead to now tunanganganiana even off of Tetris? What is it about ideology?
My perspective on anything is always follow the money.
Follow the money?
Yes, follow the money. Because as I told you, America is also a communist country, but it's communism for the rich.
Okay, I need you to expound on that, because I think I just barely get what you're getting.
Okay, let me just try to break it down a bit. What is communism when you talk about communism, or rather let's just break it down in a layman's terms. And capitalism,
it's making money for the good of the whole community, as you would say.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like the lamest way I can kind of put it.
Somehow true. Also, capitalism is the accumulation of capital towards a certain end.
So they are basically, what you're trying to tell me is that they are making money for the 1%.
Yeah. Let me break it down. So as easy as it is, communism, everyone pulls together for resources.
Yes.
For the benefit of everyone else.
Yeah.
That's basic. That's the basic idea. That's the ideology. It doesn't work that way. But that's the basic ideology.
What do you mean?
These countries don't work that way. But we'll get
they
there.
Still work with the percentile. Yeah.
Then capitalism is everyone pulls on their own, but whoever can accumulate the most gets the most benefit.
That's true.
Yeah. Whoever can be able to accumulate capital the most, or controls the capital, you control land, control labor, you control a certain resource, you get the most benefit out of it. That's the system that has been running the world.
Yes.
So now we are, America is communism for the rich, in that the rich have been able to influence every level of society. They've been able to influence politics, they've been able to influence the social political aspect of the American society. And they have been able to make themselves sort of break away from the rest of the population. So the 1% in America, they live in a totally different planet.
Yes, they kind of do.
And I mentioned that they've been able to influence the political aspect of America. In Africa or the third world, we call it corruption, but in America we call it lobbying. Lobbying, they call them lobbyists, but it's just corruption. You can be able to fund a campaign.
Yes.
And American elections, they have midterms, so they have elections every other 2 years, every other 4 years, like that. So if I want certain laws passed, and they are passed by Congress, they are Senate, I can fund you as Brian, I can fund your campaign to the sum of millions of dollars.
Yes.
But once you get there, you make sure that the laws that you're going to pass in that Congress are going to favor my business.
Yes.
So that's how they've been able to capture the country. You find their laws that favor trusts. So the rich guys are building their own trust funds. And trust funds, they have very little tax rates.
Yes.
In terms of workers' rights, workers' compensation, I mean, they make their billions from the backs of everyone else, and they pay them very little for it. But it's just because they've been able to play the game.
Yes, actually, Trump was very lenient on it.
Exactly.
He was very honest. I've made billions.
I like Trump.
Because he's honest.
I like him because he's honest.
Yeah.
And it's very rare to find an honest politician. But Trump is honest.
I feel like, I'm sorry, but me, I just feel like at some point it's just stupid, just like Nini. He is stupidly honest.
I like Trump. Trump, he tells you what he's gonna do, and you think he's bluffing, then he does it.
He does it. He doesn't care.
He doesn't give a shit. He knows there's nothing that is going to happen to him.
True.
I don't know. I mean, unless the people decided to enact their own second amendment.
Yeah.
But protecting sovereignty doesn't have to be from an external aggressor.
Be internal.
It can also be internal. If someone is not acting in in what I'm trying to find
in favor of
the rest of the population.
Yes,
you can decide to take up arms and remove him from power.
True.
That's now true sovereignty. That you have power. The people have the power to decide their future. So if you are not part of that future, or you are trying to go against that future, they can
actually just,
and that's what they did. They created that country in 1776. They were overrun by the British. The British, they also had supporters inside.
Yeah, actually, that's why there was the North and the South.
The Civil War.
The Civil War, yeah.
So you have to break these guys. And some of them have to die. You have to break them. You have to show them that we have to have a collective future and not a future that's determined from external parties. But either way, I was just trying to break it down how it's a communism for the rich. That's how they've been able to take over the country. And that's why America is looking the way it's looking. Guns are being sold on the streets because Smith & Wesson is going to make profits. Because the Glock,
the Glock 9,
has to make profits. And who are they selling to? They're selling to their own citizens. Okay, some of it is going to go outside, but
very rarely actually.
The internal market is making money.
The internal market, okay,
yeah.
But wow, okay. By the way, we are like in the final 10 minutes, here. So do you feel like is there, off of the top of your head, is there anything they can do just to curb that to really?
They could, but
do they just have the kind of thing that we had a while back? We got to Nachoma guns, killer.
That ship has sailed.
For them, it's gone.
That ship sailed a long time ago.
Yeah.
America is dying. That empire is dying. It's a dying empire.
Interesting.
Because we talked about it on the last episode, about China and America.
Yeah, there's no race. The race was already won. Yeah, I remember.
America is spending $1 trillion to bully other countries. And another country is spending that $1 trillion to build infrastructure.
Yeah.
To build, let's say just to build. They are building schools, they are building hospitals, they are building even AI, new ideas. So the trajectory of these two countries are different. One of them can be on top. And America has been on top for a very long time.
Yes.
But the cracks are starting to reveal themselves.
When do you think like America made a name for itself? Personally?
The Second World War.
Why? We might actually have the same idea. Why do you think that is? Because I actually agree. The Second World War. Why?
Yeah. I think it's just they were at the right moment at the right time. I don't even think they influenced that war that much.
Yeah, but
they controlled the narrative.
Funny enough, I think they made their name just by being the sales people for the weaponry. That's
also another aspect. When you think about the Second World War and how it came to a conclusion, the Russians, they went into Germany, they liberated Berlin, right?
Yes.
But the Americans took the credit.
Yes, that's also true.
Then the Americans, they go ahead and in their typical American fashion, they go and bomb Japan. Not once, twice. A country that has already surrendered, you have to drop a bomb twice just to prove a point. I think they were just proving a point, like the next decade or the next couple of decades, sisi ndio tutakuwa on top, sisi ndio tutakuwa tunasema.
And then now came the amendments of whatever, the
UN,
yes,
from the League of Nations to the United Nations now.
And then now they make this amendment that kind of them from actually just going out.
It's veto powers. They gave themselves veto powers. But imagine the Russians did all the work, then the Americans came and took credit. But the Americans now, you can give them credit because whoever controls the narrative is
actually, but they are a master of that.
Yeah, whoever writes history, you are going to believe that. We don't know what most of the world doesn't know what Russia did.
Actually, I found that out like just a few years ago.
History is written by the victors. But also, we need to also hear some sides of the story. We need to hear Hitler's story. We need to hear
I'm actually
Stalin's
on for
story.
That. I actually want. I would love to hear stories from like people who are actually in.
Hitler is a crazy guy. I've been doing some research on him and the Third Reich and whatever stories that we've been fed about what was going on in Germany and especially now it borders now. When you go to the other side, I don't know if they are going to find your podcast, the Jewish guys and whatever they feed us about.
Whatever went on.
Yeah, whatever went on, the detention centers that they were being exterminated or something.
we can only believe
it's another rabbit hole.
But now it's a rabbit hole. There's no truth. The truth is subjective.
It's subjective.
Yeah.
But one thing I do admire about Hitler is that he dared to dream.
What was his dream?
His dream was a pure race, that Aryan race, is the race in Germany, and Germany getting back on top.
Okay, now I get.
Because if
his way to do it was whatever was now.
Everyone else was doing the same thing. It's just that we victimize him for
actually
for being on the other side and trying to win. What has America been doing all this time? What has the British been doing? They're using the same thing.
That is such a day. I've never been on his horse.
But just because this guy, he almost won.
It's the narrative.
He almost won.
Oh yeah, he
almost did.
Yeah.
It was just, it could have been just one or two decisions.
Yeah.
From right now, we'll be speaking German. He was that good.
He was that close.
He was that good. He had, Germans, the way they do things. Germans are really technical guys.
And been noticing that.
And they really have attention to detail. When they decide to do something, they do it the best. It's German cars, German companies. This is the way they do their things. And now imagine, it's a German on steroids. It's a German,
literally.
It's a German on steroids in the 1930s. And he believes his country has been treated unfair. He believes there is influence in his country that's coming from outside, the Jewish. They are trying to impose themselves on the German economy, and they are treating Germans like second-hand citizens. They control the banks, they control the economy. Of course, they control the society. So it's like, Germans, we have to get back on top, and these guys have to leave. So whatever happened, they talk about those detention centers. Why are they still there?
Yeah,
it's a rabbit hole.
It's a rabbit hole. So for the last 5 minutes, do you have any stories on Che? Alikuwa anaitwa Che who Govera.
This handsome motherfucker, no homo, man.
But he's everywhere. Like kuna parakati kwa matisho squeeze, you just find him randomly. Do you have any
Man, Che was crazy. Che is such a crazy character. And that's also coming into the Cuban Revolution. Cuba was led by some guy who was called Fulgencio Batista.
Yes.
Back in those days, and he was an American stooge, typical American stooge. Cuba is just
it's American. Like
it's not far from Miami. So America, of course, wants to control the narrative in their closest neighbors. Their closest neighbor is Cuba. But these young guys, they decide, this guy, this president of ours, ni one term. One term. In trying to break it down as so they mean, what was his name? Castro, his brother,
Fidel, yes.
And he comes up with this militia. Then he finds Che. Che is also a skilled fighter.
He's actually, apparently at this time, he was holding counts. Left, right, center.
Then these guys are also, they are poets. They are poets, they're eccentric. They're public speakers. They're orators.
Yeah.
They can go into a countryside. They live with followers. Because they have a way with their words.
Charisma.
They're charismatic, especially Fidel. Fidel. If you listen to his speeches now, he's such a charismatic guy. So they storm into the first mission. I think it was a barracks or something. They overran the barracks. Then there are like 15 guys or 20 guys. They still there. Yeah, it's crazy. Cuban Revolution is crazy. So the economy is crumbling. Batista is there. He's trying to fight back, but I mean, you have soldiers, paying them. And there's a difference between people fighting for money and people fighting for an ideology, for an idea.
Yes. The idea will win.
The idea will win, definitely. So long story short, they win. And now they have to form a new Cuba. That's where Che comes in. Che, he's appointed, I don't know, Minister of Agriculture. Minister of something, because he's also smart. I think he was a doctor or something. I don't know. But he's also a smart guy. So you want someone like him to form a new government. But him is like, our mission is not done in terms of liberation, because that was his ideology. It was to liberate the third world from American influence. His business is not done, so he has to go and continue his rampage into Latin America.
Actually even Africa.
Even Africa.
Yeah.
They went through the civil war in Angola and
Yes.
wherever. But in terms of now the South America, Latin America,
Yeah.
it's like my business is not done. So maybe I'm not here to stay in the offices and do all this bureaucracy type of shit, wearing suits and all that. Maybe I want to go back to the battlefield.
Was always in a green. There's this
fatigues. They are called military fatigues.
Yeah.
So it's that maybe I have to go back to the war. I have to go back to fighting, man.
Yeah.
Fighting is my blood, man. I have to do this shit.
I think he was just bored at some point. He was just looking
bored.
out for the
You take a warrior from the battlefield, you bring him to an office, he's going to get bored.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's how he ended up being captured in Bolivia. He was trying to liberate Bolivia back in those days.
Yeah.
It was like maybe my mission is to liberate Latin America. So I have to share as much knowledge as I can to liberation groups. I have to be as much as possible to be in the battlefield. That's how he was caught.
Bruh,
Yeah,
but
it's a crazy guy, man.
I think like we can go on forever like with this kind of topics, man. By the way, last time you were here, I think unfortunately we lost like one of our episodes that we got to record. Because I notice yenye tulikuwa mimi wewe Kaizen. Yeah, it recorded and then the format actually after nikienda kuedit ikaharibika and it was like a whole hour plus. So I was like, I'll use the other one and then I'll cut it up and experiment how people take it, but collectively I did well. People actually, even on Instagram, they really liked it, and I kind of do like me I'd ask you come again and again. Any day you're welcome to this podcast. Anytime you're free, maze we niambie tu come.
Very nice,
link maze. But yeah, this is episode 30.
Episode 30.
This is episode 30.
Good job, man.
Imeanza sasa kuingia hiyo.
Mengia gia ya pili.
But I've sweat to this point. But we keep going. We see where this wormhole will take us. Yeah. Anyway, this is us asking you, the subscriber, the viewer, if you have not yet, click that subscribe button. Like, what else do you want? I've already shown consistency.
Like, share.
Like, share. Force our mabeshte wako. Take their phones. Just click subscribe on their phones. Whether that just adds the numbers to the podcast, at some point, I'll start showing up now on their feed.
Now to pay ideas.
Ideas.
What do you want to hear, man?
Hey, just talk to me. Like, just tell us.
What do you want to hear, man?
Yeah. So yeah, we are now finding a community. There's now me and Roy. We find people. That's how you start something, and then along the way you find the right people. So anyway, and at first you find the wrong ones, by the way. So we've already done with that.
Part of growth.
Yeah, subscribers apparently ilikuwa imefika by there somewhere. Ikapanda, alafu ikashuka.
Growth haikuwagi linear.
It's not linear.
Yeah.
That's true. So yeah, we appreciate you for still watching to this point, and you are actually among now. I can only get to other people through you, Sasa, at this point. Taking their phones, taking your friends' phones, just clicking that subscribe button so that I can just show up. We can just show up on their feed, and that will now propel them. Once we've converted them to a subscriber, they can get to more people. For now, that's how we are working. Anyways, thank you. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, and as always, have a good day.
Have a good day, man.